Four is now set for the NCAA tournament. I will have a complete weekend wrap-up of all the college basketball from Saturday and Sunday. The NASCAR Cup Series today was at the Circuit of Americas, and what a great race it was. I will have more on that. I will have more on the NCAA Final Four preview and the NASCAR Cup Series today. I may throw in some baseball here after a bit. And we will start the show right after this.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sport.
Well, hello there, everybody. It is now time for the Scott Manning YouTube Sports Weekend Wrap-Up Show. I want to thank all my loyal viewers for being with me here on this night. The Final Four is now set. The Kansas Jayhawks will face the Villanova Wildcats in one of the semifinals, and in the other semifinals, you might want to sit down for this one. It's going to be Duke, North Carolina, in the very first ever meeting between this storied rivalry. These two rival schools are meeting in the Final Four. And it's Coach K's. And everybody thought at the end of the season, regular season, everybody thought Coach K's last game against Carolina was going to be a Cameron Indoor. It was going to result in a loss. But the Final Four is here. Carolina made it. And it's going to be a blue-blooded NCAA Final Four. A combined 17 national championships, also a combined 61 Final Four appearances between the four programs. Kansas, Villanova, Duke, North Carolina. I'm going to talk about all these. I'm going to give you a preview tonight, and the NASCAR Cup Series will follow, and I'll probably throw in some baseball just to kill the time. All right, the Kansas Jayhawks got here after beating Miami 76-50 in the Midwest Regional Final. Ochai Ogbaye had 18 points. Christian Braun had 12. I'm not going any further than that tonight. For the Kansas Jayhawks for the season. For the 21-22 seasons, the Jayhawks were 32-6. They've been to the Final Four 16 times, winning 3 national championships. Head coach Bill Self knows how to get the job done. And I mean, he's got 3 guys who can do it. Ochai Ogbaye, 18.9 points per game. Christian Braun, 14.3 points per game. And Jalen Wilson, who's going to have to step up his game, he had 11.2 points per game. And that's Bill Self. The Jayhawks can do it. I think Kansas can do it. 3 national titles. 1952 was the first one. Then he took one in 88, then in 2008. As for the other side of the ball, Villanova. Villanova's record, and how did they get to the Final Four? They beat the Houston Cougars 50-44 in a slugfest. Jermaine Samuels had 16 points, 10 rebounds in that game. Justin Moore and Colin Gillespie only had 14 points combined in that slugfest against the Houston Cougars in the South Regional Final. But Villanova prevailed 50-44. As for Villanova, their resume to this point. During the regular season this year, they had a 30-7 record. They got 7 Final Four trips, 3 national titles. Head coach Jay Wright's already said, we're looking forward to the Kansas Jayhawks and see what they got. I know they got some excellent players, but we do too. And it showed. Colin Gillespie, he's been averaging 15.6 points per game during the regular season. Justin Moore, he's been averaging 14.8 points per game this season, along with Jermaine Samuels with 11.1 points per game. Moore and Gillespie are going to have to step up their game against the Jayhawks, against Kansas. That's all there is to it. Now, my bracket, surprisingly, and I'm going to come out and say it now, my national championship prediction is still intact at this late hour. Hard to believe. I had Duke facing Kansas for the national title. For this game, I am going to take the Jayhawks, and it's very simple. They've got a great team, a 32-6 record, a Big 12 regular season crown. They know how to win the Big 12. Head coach Bill Self has got a great team. They beat up the Hurricanes today. So you heard it here first, folks. My national title prediction, it's going to be the Kansas Jayhawks winning the national championship. That's all there is to it. Actually winning this game against Villanova, and that's all there is to it. They'll play for the national title against Duke. I'm making my prediction. All right. That's Kansas Villanova. That's the first semifinal. The second semifinal, you guessed it, baby. Dickie V's on cloud 9. It's going to be Duke versus North Carolina. The Tobacco Road rivalry in the Final Four. Hard to believe. Everybody thought in the final game of the regular season when North Carolina stunned Duke, and they said Dickie V, they sent Coach K home disappointed. They thought that was going to be it. But one more showdown between Duke and North Carolina, and what a resume. And think about Duke. This season, they were 32-6. 17 Final Fours, 5 national titles. Coach K has over 1,200 wins for his career. And how in the world did they get to this point? They earned it by doing it their way. If you stop and think about it, and what happened in the South Regional Final. Let me look back at my notes here, make sure I get it correct. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm right. Yes. In the West Regional Final, Duke got a big win today. They got a big win over Arizona, 78-69. I forgot to write that information down. I got so excited about the matchup. Let's think about this for a minute. Mark Williams, 13 points, 12 rebounds. He had a double-double on the day. Paulo Pantro, 16 points. Wendell Moore Jr., 14. Coach K's already said, I want one more matchup against North Carolina. I wish it wasn't in the Final Four, though. Yeah, but think about Duke's resume. 17 Final Fours, 5 national titles, back-to-back in 91 and 92. Leitner and company, they knew how to do it. They did it again in 01 and again in 2010. That 2010 game, I'll never forget. Butler had a chance to win it with a 3. Had that 3 win in, it would have counted. And again in 2015. Duke's got 3 players on their watch list. Paulo Banchero, 17.1 points per game during the regular season. I really like him. Mark Williams, he had a double-double. He's been averaging 11.3 points per game during the regular season as well. And Wendell Moore Jr., he had 14 points. He's been averaging 13.5 points per game. So that's about right for him. And now, on the other side of the ball, you've got North Carolina. And North Carolina is looking forward to this. During the regular season, during the 21-22 season, they had a 28-9 record. But think about Carolina's resume. 21 Final Fours, 6 national titles. 1957, 1982. Remember how Georgetown gave that one away? 93. Remember when Carolina beat the Fab Four out of Michigan? And then 05, 09, and again in 2017. And this is the first year, and under first year coach Hubert Davis, they had a great record. They had a great season. And I'll tell you what, respect to them. How did they get there? They beat St. Peter's in the East. They beat St. Peter's in the regional final, 69-49 today. Armando Bacot, 20 points, 22 rebounds. The last time that something like this happened in the Elite Eight or later, Akeem Olajuwon, all the way back in 1983. That was something to write home about. Caleb Love, 14 points. Brady Manick, he had 19 points on the day. This one is going to be very special. This is going to be a huge matchup between two power programs. The Tobacco Road rivalry in the Final Four. All I got to say is I'm glad I live in Ohio instead of near Durham or Chapel Hill. Because you know how crazy Franklin Street's going to be. You got the Cameron crazies. I'm a Cameron crazy. I'm proud to admit it. I admit it. I'm a Coach K lover. I picked Duke to win the national championship. To send Coach K out a winner. How sweet would it be to beat North Carolina in the Final Four and then beat Kansas for the national championship? Now that is my national championship prediction. But Kansas has to get by Villanova, and that could be a very interesting ball game. And I thought about this too. What if both Duke and Kansas lose? We get a rematch of the 2016 national title game back in 2016. Remember when Chris Jenkins hit the three that sent everybody sent everybody home out in Villanova and everybody near Philadelphia home happy? Carolina had tied that game, and Chris Jenkins hit a three, and I'll never forget it. Charles Barkley was dancing, jumping up and down, and everybody knew it. They even showed a replay of a security guard on YouTube giving his reaction. He was like, this is going to be something special. This year's Final Four, I give it a AAA golden stamp of approval for a couple of reasons. Number one, Duke versus North Carolina for the first time ever. And then we got Villanova, Kansas. And no matter what happens here, if my national championship prediction holds out, Duke, Kansas, or even if Villanova, North Carolina, we could possibly have a 2016 rematch. How cool would that be? But first things first, it's the Final Four. Everybody's in it to win it from here on out. And we're going to have a blast on Saturday night. And then the national title game on Monday night with everything on the line. We'll see what happens. And that's the bottom line. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead. We've had enough talk about college basketball. The Final Four is now set. But there was a NASCAR Cup race today from the Circuit of Americas down near Austin, Texas. Ross Chastain scored his first career win with Alex Bowman second, Christopher Bell third, Chase Elliott was fourth, Tyler Reddick fifth, Ryan Blaney was sixth today, a nice run for him. Brian Truex Jr. seventh, Austin Cindric eighth, Eric Jones ninth, and Austin Dillon rounding out the top 10. We're well into the season, and we have another different winner. We have not had any repeat winners so far in the 2022 NASCAR Cup season. Ross Chastain had to earn this one today. On the final lap of the race, A.J. Allmendinger had taken the lead with Alex Bowman, and they were all running right there together. And then coming down towards the final turn, Ross Chastain gave a bump and run to A.J. Allmendinger and sent him right into Alex Bowman. Some people were crying penalty. Ross Chastain called it, well, it's racing. It's a bump and run. That's what we're paid to do, and that's what you're supposed to do. And he's absolutely right on that. A great win for Ross Chastain and a great win for a young team. Let's see. That means 5 races, 5 different winners in the NASCAR Cup schedule for 2022 so far. Now, the IndyCar Series is not going to be back in action until April 10th at Long Beach. So I'm not going to worry about them right now. But what a race it was at the Circuit of Americas, a road race, which had more fireworks on the 4th of July. And everybody knew. And I actually watched that race today, and I actually enjoyed it. Today's college basketball action was boring. So I turned the race on. It was the best decision I ever made on this day. Congratulations to Ross Chastain on his first career Cup win. And what a moment it was. You know what? We got a few minutes to kill. Let's talk about some baseball. The baseball season is upon us. So really quickly, I'm going to give you my division picks on who's going to win each division. I'm going to start it out with the National League. The National League, I am going with the New York Mets because their pitching staff is now loaded. The National League Central, I am going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers for right now due to the Andrew McCutchen pickup. And in the National League West, let's face it, the Dodgers are loaded. And that's all there is to it. In the American League, the AL East, the Boston Red Sox Trevor Story pickup was a huge one. I'm going to go with the Red Sox to win the AL East. I really am. The American League Central, had this been about 2 weeks ago when you guys asked me this, I was ready to pick the White Sox to win it again. After what happened with the Minnesota Twins picking up Carlos Correa, I got to go with the Twins to win the American League Central. I think the Twins are going to be red hot. And in the American League West, that's a hard one. I mean, you got the A's. They sent Bassett. They traded Bassett and Olsen. And you got the Astros losing Correa. I'm gonna go with the Houston Astros for now. I'll probably change my mind, and I'll let you guys know what I think later. And also, too, the other day, I saw this on Facebook. Somebody asked me, "Who do you think is going to win the MVP? Or actually going to win who's actually going to win the Cy Young in the American League and the National League?" I'm not going to worry about MVP yet, but I'm going to give a Cy Young prediction for both the American and National Leagues. In the American League, I'm going to go with Garrett Cole of the New York Yankees. If Cole can stay healthy, I think Garrett Cole's got the best shot of winning the American League Central. But in the National League, it's going to be from the New York Mets. I'm not sure if I should go with Scherzer or DeGrom. Scherzer, I think, has a better shot. Jacob DeGrom, and this is a very, very huge if he can stay healthy, I'll give him a shot. But at the end of the day, if he goes injury-plagued and snake-bit like he has for most of his career, and if Max Scherzer can stay healthy, I'm going to go with Max Scherzer to win the National League Cy Young. And MVP, let me get back to you on that one. Just to give you just a little bit of a heads up. But also, too, don't forget, April 16th, guys, the USFL is also going to be starting back up. The USFL is back after a long, long hiatus. How cool is that? Spring football provided by the United States Football League. How cool is that? Fox and NBC both have the rights to it, which, in a way, I absolutely do not mind at all. And that's the bottom line. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thought, and I do have a couple of announcements I do want to make. As the NCAA Final Four has arrived, I want to take my hats off to the St. Peter's Peacocks, a 15 seed, made it all the way to the Elite Eight for the first time ever. This has been one of the craziest and most dramatic filling moments in the history of the NCAA tournament. 3 number 1 seeds. Gonzaga, the overall number 1, got knocked out. Baylor, last year's national champions, got knocked out in the second round. We saw Kentucky. We saw Murray State go down. And we saw Purdue. All 3 of those teams lost to St. Peter's in this year's NCAA tournament. My bracket was trashed on the first day. And I took it like a man. As the Final Four comes into town and gets ready, we're going to have a great weekend. This coming Saturday, when the Final Four hits, is going to be a lot of memories and a lot of great moments. The Indiana cheerleaders got some recognition. for saving a game between Indiana and St. Mary's in the first round. That cheerleader is going to be making a lot of money because of a special endorsement. I don't have her name. I forgot to write it down, and I do apologize for that. But this year's NCAA tournament has now received the AAA golden stamp of approval from yours truly. Okay, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to apologize for the short show, but I wanted to spend a lot of time talking about getting you ready for the Final Four and bring you up to date on the NASCAR Cup scene. And I just want to let you know, this coming Friday, there will be no show. I will not be doing the show. I have another commitment. I have something else going on. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, I got to go to the BMV and renew my state ID. It expires on my birthday. Not this Tuesday coming, but the following Tuesday. So I'm going to be brave and go sit at the BMV all day, or for most of the day, I should say, and get my state ID renewed. And the truth of the matter is this. The Final Four is here. I've already given you a preview. That's about the only major league thing going on. And I also got to get down and take care of some business. And I just told you what it is. And on Tuesday, April 5th, at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm not going to be doing it on YouTube. I'm going to be doing it on another station. I'm going to be doing this on Facebook, and I'll make an announcement on this. On my Facebook page at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, Tuesday, April 5th, which is actually my birthday, I am going to be doing a Major League Baseball special. I'll give you my predictions on who wins each division and how I think it's going to go, and who I think is going to win the Cy Young and the MVP this year. Please tune in. I will put that announcement on my Facebook page during this coming week. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you so much for being with me. God bless you. And I'm going to enjoy this week. And I promise you, I'm going to have a blast. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much for being with me. And God bless. Goodbye, everybody. And I thank you.